Hey guys, we have an update here from Christian Hauser for Local 12 News. A verdict has been reached in the Afroman defamation lawsuit. It will be announced once everybody's back in the courtroom. They're estimating 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to be on a mission. We're going to hope that WCPO 9 or whoever is running the camera gets a feed of this. We might just be relying on a text-based tweet update on, hey, this is what the verdict was. Either way, we're going to find out. The jury started deliberating around 11:40 a.m. this morning. They might have stopped for a lunch break, and we knew that they needed some time to get some papers printed because there were typos in the jury instructions. Whatever time that took, to me it seems like they were about to be approaching, right? 11:40 if they took a 30-minute lunch. I mean, you figure like somewhere between 6 hours, maybe just over, maybe just shy of 6 hours of deliberations. Let's get to WCPO 9. Here we go, chat. Wait, is it not sharing to you guys? Hold on, let me pull the screen down. That was weird. StreamYard's showing me the old screen. There we go. You guys hear it?
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. So the court was informed the jury reached a verdict, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So if you'll hand the verdict forms to the bailiff, he'll hand them to me so I can take a look at them.
Thank goodness.
I looked at the form of the papers, essentially to see if they're properly signed. So that's the next thing that happens. Thank you.
I'm always nervous. Thank you, Amber, for becoming a member. I want all not liable across the board is what I'd like to see. Oh, I'll tell Mel. Mel doesn't know that there's a verdict. I just told her.
With regard to decorum, I don't expect any responses from anybody. It's been an emotional case. It's been a well-tried case. The lawyers did what they should do. The parties did what they should do. I just want to remind everybody that how the verdict comes out isn't something of public comment. So if you have an emotional attachment to the verdict, don't express it. Wait till you get out of the building before you let your emotions out. So the verdict forms are properly executed, properly completed. Copies will be made available to the parties. In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed. So
Let's go!
Concluded with defense verdicts.
I'm so happy. I was so ready to be disappointed.
Thank you, Mr. Osborne.
Full not liable.
The Sheriff's Department for security in the building, and we'll go ahead and stand in adjournment. You're welcome.
Woo! Let's go! Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh my God, don't cry. I'll be crying when I'm happy. I'll be crying when I'm mad. Let's go! Let's go! Jury, let's go. They took the time. Woo! All right, sorry for screaming at you guys. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead and relax, whatever it is you need.
I'll reach for
Yep. Have the jury go that way. Have them go back into their room.
If you guys don't mind to hang out in there for a little bit, I can get you, okay?
All right.
I have like adrenaline. All right, let's see. Let's see what the chat's saying. I know the chat's on the screen. Let's do it twice. First Amendment, heck yeah. Are they going to say something else? I don't want to talk over them. His next video is going to be unhinged. So no injunction, like, can you even issue, you can't issue an injunction. Everybody put a 1 in the chat for the First Amendment. Yeah, sorry, I should scream in lowercase. Oh my god, yay! I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Nika says, glad it was for the defense. Heck yeah, me too. I had to process it for a split second. I don't know if you caught my pause. Because you read it kind of quick. I was like, favor in front of the defense. That's right, that's what we want. Oh, thank you for being a member for 17 months. Tatted Terp says, best 5 hours I've spent. Haha, Hypno, new friend, comedic hypnosis channel. Make sure you check that out. Super cool stuff. Says free speech wins. Jury just needed common sense. What are they saying?
Everybody is excused.
That's what we're waiting for. Literally, that's what we're waiting for. I was like,
Oh, did they just end the feed? The cameraman was out of there. The cameraman said, all right, you said we're excused? We don't even want to see the reaction? That's crazy. Let me make sure that's actually where it ended, or if I'm just buffering. Oh, man. No, it's being funny. What is it doing? Let's refresh this.
literally, that's what we're waiting for. I was like,
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not going. It's stopping right there. So I guess the cameraman ran out of there. Oh, man. What a time. What a time. Let's see. I wonder if he's going to post anything. And does anybody want to come up here? Like attorneys, someone that, you know, knows how to use StreamYard. I don't want to just have a free-for-all screaming because I can't manage panels. But Jim, if you want to come up, there's tons of ones for the First Amendment. Let's run through these. Guys, YouTube doesn't really love all caps comments, but we do these things over here called 60 seconds all caps rants. So use all caps to your heart's content. I'm not even going to put a 60-second cap on it. Just note if your comment doesn't show up. Sometimes YouTube flags things for weird reasons. But let's do some all caps celebrations, you guys. I'm thrilled. I'm so glad that we don't have to utter the words. Oh, but there's appellate issues. Like, yeah, he can whatever, but he's going to have to appeal it. I'm loving all these ones. Heck yeah for the First Amendment. And for anyone that just tuned in for the verdict, we just came over here from, we were rewatching day 1. And it was from the court's official feed where for the full time that the plaintiff's attorney was playing the Lisa video, the court camera was on the video itself. It wasn't showing Lisa on the stand or elsewhere in the courtroom. So we literally just got done watching that full video. And then a verdict came in. So it couldn't have been a more timely order of events. All of these ones still flooding in. One all the way from New Zealand. That's what's up. That's what's up. Loving it. And it's crazy because I was like, hey, maybe we'll end when we finish this day one. And they got here just in time. Yeah, why did the judge read it so fast? I mean, I don't know. I'm a person for brevity, so that's fine with me. We've also got, let me say thank you here to Taco Tuesday. Always good to see Taco Tuesday. Always makes me think about tacos. Says, love you, Kat. Love you right back. Good to see you. Let's get Jim up here. Happily Angry Lawyer. There we go. Thank you so much for popping on with no notice. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I always convince myself that the side I want's going to lose. Or the side I want to win's going to lose. So I've been convinced all day. I've just been sad all day, getting ready for a loss. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this was the right outcome. I don't think much of this could be taken literally. I was kind of worried about the PDF accusation. That was the one that kind of had me concerned because that one did seem kind of factual. But I mean, for those of us,
and it's an allegation of like a criminal thing, and maybe tips outside commentary on your work performance. So I don't know.
Yeah, but then again, he also got a promotion. He was playing. Leonard was kind of playing games with. He kept saying, "I lost my job," and he didn't. And I think juries pick up on that sort of thing.
Well, then I think another damning moment was we have a denial on what his brother was in trouble for. You work in law enforcement and you don't know what your brother was charged with even. You're going to play dumb about it. And then you admit it when you're confronted with it that you know. And start talking about how you distance yourself from him. But why would you make the conscious decision to distance yourself from somebody if you didn't know that they did something?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just talking trash. I would say it differently, but he was just insulting them. I don't think any of this was meant literally. Ooh, Andrea's up on.
Is she here?
Oh no, she's on your. You put the DMs on the screen. I don't know if you meant to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to send her a link. Thank you for warning me, though. Nothing nefarious in there. But I'm just trying to invite Andrea on here. She wants to share her thoughts.
Yeah.
Oops. Anyway, let me go back to an Afroman picture. Let's see. Let's go back.
I just can't, like, he's going to release 11 pound cake line. And I can't wait to purchase my Afroman branded 11 pound cake.
Well, that means there's no injunction. So could he, if he wanted to, start doing the merch again? I mean, I feel like my issue with the merch might be licensing with other, like, it seems like he put other licensed characters in some of his merchandise and they never came at him for anything. They must have felt like it was properly outside the realms, or maybe they didn't care to take the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about as far as like third parties go, people not involved in this, but otherwise he should be fine. I'm sure like he could find a way to make it happen. It looked good. It was a good looking 11 pound cake. That was the one area where, you know, I could understand a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think this was like nothing worse than, I made this joke earlier. It's kind of like the stuff you'd hear in like a Halo lobby in 2007. Like, it's just
the most horrible things.
Yeah, like I don't think like when they were talking about like what they're going to do with my mom, they were actually like it was a factual thing that they were saying, and I think this was kind of in that vein. I don't think it was meant to be taken literally.
Sorry,
I'm really interested to see what the jurors have to say though.
I hope they do interviews. I mean, maybe that's why the WCPO 9 camera hustled out of there. Maybe they're actually trying to get some.
Oh, true.
That would be awesome. Because I was making fun of him.
Yeah, Kevin said, or in high school, in real life, in the 90s. I was in high school in the 90s, but 2000s, and yeah, I was called things that I can't repeat on here because we're gonna get cat demonetized. But
well, that's okay. Oh man.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a wild day. Court-wise.
Love seeing everybody. I need the t-shirt. I'd wear it all around.
I think the Colorado Adams County Sheriff should put out a t-shirt that's like not the other one.
With the geography, that was real. I liked that. I appreciated that. We're like, we're the square state. We're over here.
Number one, guys, Adams County Sheriffs.
Anyone tuning in, I think this is a big question. The jury found in full favor of Afroman, nothing for the plaintiffs. It's a complete victory for Afroman.
Yeah,
So
I am surprised, but I am a
and
pessimist.
same. I mean, I try not to let someone crying get to me, even if I feel for you. Is it going to impact my decision? But I was like, well, dang, what if the jury is like, that's emotional damage? Let's award money for seeing someone cry on the stand like that in reaction to something.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think legally the right thing is that that's not shouldn't be actionable. Shouldn't be actionable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was so over the top absurd. I'm not going to repeat what was absurd about the video, just all of it, really. But it's hard for me to look at that and be like, oh, yeah, this is a literal statement of fact.
Yeah, like, and it contradicts itself within its own lyrics. It's like if Lisa's supposed to be like I don't know, if she's supposed to just be into women or she's supposed to be a man, but then the video she gets with Afroman in the video, like it doesn't. There would be two factual assertions if you take it literally through and through.
Yeah.
That conflict with each other.
Yeah.
So
it's just like it's like trying to like I said, it's like trying to parse out somebody talking shit in a Halo lobby. You're not like, oh well, these. See, you said it was my mom, then you said it was my sister. Which is it? Like, it just all goes into that kind of bucket of just insults. And I mean, I could see the crying kind of backfire. I could see it either way. Yeah, the jury could go for it, but they could also be like, you did break into this guy's house, so like maybe you're both in the wrong to some degree, something like that. I'm not saying they both were, but I could see the crying backfire.
Or even like the idea that if they found liable on something but gave nominal awards, like it was like I really think
that's what I expected.
Like if there was a reason to split and they wanted to pick money and they're like, I think it'd be comical to give them $400 because that's what this contentious is. It's all over if they couldn't come to a full conclusion that no liability at all. And again, I'm super glad that we're not going to have to even talk about appeals here. Can I ask you, since you yourself are an attorney,
Kinda.
I'm not saying that this is the only courtroom, but what's unusual for me, I thought it was kind of odd to see them do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a reason not to do it, but I haven't seen that before. Especially because he's wearing a flag. So maybe that's why the jury, they pledged allegiance to the flag and he was the flag. Although I guess Brian Newland was also allegedly a flag. But yeah, I haven't seen that before.
Let's see. Mel's gonna pop on from I'm Not a Lawyer, but guys, I'm sending out links over on X to see if we can get like a quick little panel reaction. I will drop links in the chat and put them in the description. But this is Happily Angry Lawyer, who this morning, can you give a quick, what's going on with the hallucination AI cases? Where did you see that happen today?
So I don't think anyone knew. Okay, I'll start. This is the Hannah Payne case. It's a Georgia case. Really dark backstory. We're not going to get into it, but it was a murder case, direct appeal of a murder case. Andrew Fleischman, some of you may know him from Twitter, he was arguing for the defendant. And then the state goes second, they're the appellees. And at the very end of the state's attorney's argument, the presiding justice just says, so we were looking at the trial court's order denying the motion for new trial, and we noticed that there are at least 5 cases that don't exist. And I think they said at least another 3 quotes that don't exist. And that was in the trial court's order, and the state's attorney prepared that order.
Can you explain that quickly, like why that is sometimes that an order might not be prepared by a judge?
Yeah, that's not a huge deal. It's just once you have a motion litigated, the prevailing side will draft the order, and then the other side will have a chance to, object to it. If there's, usually you don't, because it's usually pretty straightforward. But one side can draft the order and the court can sign it. That's not a huge deal. But what was interesting was that the court asked the attorney, "Did you draft this order?" And she said, I submitted an original draft, and then the trial court revised it. And so she threw the trial court under the bus and said it was the trial court's fault that these hallucinated cases made it into the order.
Yeah.
And then the judge says, oh, that's funny because these were all in your briefing before the order. So you're clearly the person who introduced these cases into the mix. And then she said, well, I don't know. Well, actually, let me say, she paused for kind of 15 seconds and kind of shuffled through her papers looking for an answer that wasn't there. And then she said, I don't know. I'll prepare some briefing. And the presiding judge said, oh, we'll get you that order directing some additional briefing.
Crazy.
Yeah, and this is a pretty high profile case, or at least it was. So it's I do think that this one's going to get vacated, irrespective of that issue. But now they would have to go back before the trial court judge that they just threw under the bus in front of the Georgia Supreme Court. That's not a good way to get a trial court judge on your side. But it was crazy. It was a crazy case. Great job by Andrew.
I would say I'm glad too that, in some of these cases, I'm seeing these admonishments now where it's like, well, if the other party didn't catch it either, they should also be just as accountable for not catching the error of their opposition, which I think strategically you'd want to be in tune to checking for those things. But
yeah, for sure.
You're not the one that made the representation on the paper.
Yeah. It's also like, it depends on what you definitely should catch it. And Andrew acknowledged that. But sometimes you'll have a citation that's just mundane, like it's not even necessarily wrong. So you would think to check it. Like maybe you'll say you have 30 days to file a direct appeal, and then you'll cite to the statute, and then you'll cite to a case. And we all know that's correct. You have 30 days to file. So you're not going to check the case because there's no reason to check it really.
I'd have to check because I don't know. Just as a layperson watching, I would have to check. Yeah. My goodness. So guys, I'm not a lawyer, but Mel says she's going to join. I've also sent out links to Defense Diaries, to Doug Weinstein, Wrongful, Andrea Burkhart, which you guys all saw me invite Andrea, so you can't say I'm making that one up. And then MG Law, we got MLS with Making Law Simple. I'll send one to Potentially Criminal. Nick Starrell's live right now, but I'm going to send him a link because who knows? Just to see. I'm not an attorney myself, so I think it's great to hear from others. Jim, you started in civil. You are now more... Are you entirely practicing criminal cases?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I am.
So, very cool. Very cool. If you guys if that followed YSL know Jim from that, but if you didn't know... Jim essentially was so pissed off by what he saw going on in the YSL trial, he quit a very well-paying position to do pro bono advocacy work, and it's just an incredible thing. So, obviously, there's more to it than that, but that's the quick 411 for anyone that hasn't met him yet. I do like
money. I like money a lot. I don't want to give you the idea that I don't care about money.
Understandable.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at a couple new jobs right now, but. I have a new project. I told you about it. We have a couple new projects coming with some other people some other names people recognize. But yeah, that was that Afroman. That was wild. There are some the use of lyrics keeps getting crazier and crazier. Obviously, this is not the type of lyric use we usually see, but my goodness! And there's a music video this time. And legs in the air. I mean, I think the defense lawyer's office was incorporated in the videos this time. That's a new one for me.
All right, and I'm very excited. We have Mel from I'm Not a Lawyer, But.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Hi.
So you heard the news, right?
Yes. Because of you, thank you.
Well, it was a quick reading. Someone in the chat said, "Tell Mel," and I was like, "Oh my God, okay." So thank you to that person. Sorry, I forget who it was. If you guys don't already know Mel, she runs, and I know you more from YouTube, but you are like a phenomenon over on TikTok as well. So if you guys also use TikTok, find her there as well. But huge channel over here on YouTube. You were streaming this trial, but you excel with recaps. So for anyone out there that's like, there's too many cases for me to follow, Mel will break it down. I don't know how you do it.
I don't either at this point. But when you get cases like this, it makes it so easy.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's your like initial reaction to this?
I'll be honest, I was feeling like there was a chance with Phillips, Lisa, Lickham Low. I was feeling like there's a chance he may have to pay Lickham Low.
Do you think because of the crying, like the sympathy?
Yeah, well, yes, and I felt like everything else that he said and did, I could find a basis for. Like I could find, or it felt like it was genuinely like this is just freedom of speech. Like what are we talking about? But the Lickham Low, the video, all of those claims didn't feel rooted in anything. It didn't. So I was like, I could see this one not going his way, but I'm happy with the verdict. I think freedom of speech is very important for this country. So good.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he read it if you missed it, and we could replay it if you missed it. The judge, it was like silent forever, and then he was flipping through all the pages, and then he just blurted through it. So let me see.
Yeah. Like licking his fingers as he's flipping. Like
there's a certain Fulton County prosecutor, it's not Love, who whenever she has papers, you'll probably know who it is, but she'll just start flipping through the pages, looking for something different in those pages. I think that's what we were looking. Oh, hey, puppy. That's kind of what we were seeing there.
He was looking for a different answer.
Yeah.
Just gotta double check. I think one of my favorites, the Johnny Depp trial, when Judge Penny realized like they found one of the damages lines or the monetary awards was just blank. Because remember in the Depp v. Heard trial, they found in favor of Johnny Depp on all the counts, but then found in Amber Heard's favor on one of the counts where it was a statement from Adam Waldman where it was like Amber Heard and her group of friends orchestrated this hoax. And so they found in Amber Heard's favor in her counterclaim on that one statement. But they left a line blank, and my guess is it was that blank for monetary because it was about friends. It seemed like a fake statement about the friends. So they didn't really want to award her anything. And Penny's like, you can't just leave the line blank. So then they came back and they added in, I think they gave him like, I forget the amounts, but the 10 million or something plus punitive. And then they awarded her like the 1 million.
Oh, I think I was still working 9 to 5 at that point. So I missed that insane trial.
You could always rewatch it.
I should.
You and Jim, because Jim has some thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I have like technical thoughts. I think it should have been a statute of limitations thing, but I don't want to get drawn and quartered, so I'm not going to talk to her about that. Also, Mel, I guess, during the Lil Durk coverage, which a very different style of rapper, one might say, but nonetheless, he's more into the drill persuasion than the. I don't even know what the style is.
No, what do you describe? Afroman,
comedy, boom bap. R&B mixed in there. Yeah, I really like Mel's coverage on that. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
So looking forward to that.
I appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think it's especially important because we don't really have cameras there. It's another case where there just isn't. It's just not accessible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've
I was saying, a fun fact: the trial judge in that case is going to be the first federal judge I appeared before, Judge Ayenya Richa. So I might stick my head in for that one.
Very cool. See? Love it.
Yeah.
You guys both over in California. And thank you again, Mel. A lot of the chat knows, but there's a lot of people here that might not know. But Mel made the effort to do like media applications to try to make sure that if WCPO9 wasn't going to be in there, that somebody would know what was going on inside this courtroom. So thank you for being the backup plan. I wish you were the primary because this camera person just kept showing up late and
like, what's the point of you being the camera guy if you're cutting in the middle? I want to see the cross of Lisa, of Lickham Low Lisa.
Yeah, you did see that. Don't forget the Mona Lickham Low Lisa.
Oh, yeah, Mona.
You did see that the Watchdog Wire is uploading the official court footage, so hopefully if they also provide day 2, guys, that would be cross. So that the cross that we missed.
Doing that because this footage was, the coverage was terrible. Even after lunch, he's coming in late. Like, sir, get on your job. We're trying to watch this.
And we've got another panelist here. We have Bob Mata from Defense Diaries, also
up,
a practicing attorney.
Hello.
So we've got like in the corner here the non-lawyer ladies, and then the attorneys on the other side. Jim gets the pound cake.
I like it.
Oh, look at high.
No, it's the other way.
I was gonna say on our screen is
What?
the other.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
up over here. It's above your left.
See, I would lick the air up here, but that would be ridiculous.
All I can tell you is it looks delicious.
I would steal it too. I mean, it looked really good.
Yeah, so I was down. I was recording. So it came back not liable, huh? Love it. It's amazing.
Fully in favor of Afroman.
When I saw somebody posted, I don't know how they got this picture of the jury. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that is the oldest, whitest jury I've ever seen in my life. I was worried.
Do you say veneer or veneery?
Oh God,
Who? Me?
Yeah, both of you lawyers.
I'm not saying it.
I say veneer.
Veneer?
That
That sounds better. I like that. Let's do that one. It's like caramel, in being the hybrid between caramel and caramel.
Like,
I think I say caramel. Caramel?
You like mix the syllables together. Like you're kind of saying all of them, but you're not.
You know, Chicago and screw everything up. So it's like our shit ain't right. You know, it's like roof. People are like, say roof again, or I say roof. I can't even remember what I say. I say roof, maybe. I think I fluctuate with that.
For
roof,
the top of your house, you say what?
roof? The
Roof?
Like a
roof?
dog.
Yeah, the roof.
Oh, all right.
What do you say? Do you say roof? Do you say
roof.
route or the route? Like, what route are you going to take to get to so and so?
Oh, I say route.
Route. So I think I say, what route are you going to take?
Oh,
I don't know. It's a Midwestern thing. It's a
I see.
Midwestern.
what about Dobert or Daubert?
Daubert.
Oh, I'm definitely a Daubert. I'm
Daubert.
definitely I think obviously it being in French in origin, Daubert is probably the pronunciation that's proper. But yeah, I think I go Daubert.
Yeah.
But I do go free eye on fry.
Really?
No, not at all.
I was like, what?
I was like, that's.
I went for it.
You refuse Dobert, but you're gonna hit the
Right. I butcher fry somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. What a fabulous trial. I had thank God for you, per usual, Kat. I had no idea what was going on, you know.
So I was shocked when chat told me 2 Fridays ago, like, are you going to cover that? And I'm like, it's going to trial?
Allie was sitting there saying, I can't believe this survived a motion to dismiss.
Well, 2 counts were technically dismissed, but by the prior presiding judge. Nick Starro also joining us. I didn't mean to hit the share screen button to make him small, bringing him up there.
No.
But Nick, thank you so much for joining.
The cops lost. 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 The cops.
Look,
This could be the new Suno song stem.
I've got
The screaming goat.
yeah. Look at that guy. Look at that.
That was me reacting to the verdict. I was so happy. I probably deafened the whole chat.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched you react to a lot of verdicts. I was surprised. That one was more. I feel like that one was more of a stronger reaction than most.
She had it in the feels. She was feeling it all.
Yeah.
It was a big day for artists.
Yeah,
It was a big day for the First Amendment. It really was. It's because there is that thing with whether or not something's satire or comedy, you know, and it's like, we know they've been trying artists, particularly hip hop artists, on their lyrics forever in the criminal justice realm, which is scary as shit,
Yeah.
But this was money. Or it would have been, because if he would have lost $1, if they would have awarded him $1, theoretically, they turn around and they get him to pay the fees for the plaintiff's player. Yeah. So you could still get nailed even if they only give you nuisance money.
Yeah, and if he still shows if he lost to on even one count, the music, he can't make more music because that could be well,
He would have done it anyway.
yeah, he would.
I feel like,
can't wait to hear what song he's going to do tonight.
Me either. It's gonna be amazing.
It's going to be.
Well, has he posted? You guys chatter. I'll do a refresh and see if he's posted. He seems to be on Facebook the most.
That's definitely a theme in the chat. Is oh my god, what's next? And that's a perfectly rational question to ask. Mel,
and is it going to get worse? Is it going to get more ridiculous? Whatever trial comes next.
I mean, like in terms of the amount of publicity he's gotten from this, what a boon, man! What a boon!
He just hit $1 million.
Yeah,
he just hit $1 million. Yep.
I'm so happy for him. Like truly, like I think it's awesome. It's awesome.
And you guys over there, you have something special in the First Amendment. The rest of the world, we have pseudo clones of the First Amendment where the government says, of course you can say what you want, but not that. And I have one example. In Sweden, last year, on June 7th, 2025, it became illegal to insult a public official.
Really?
And they convicted a 16-year-old for calling a cop a cocksucker.
Hey.
Yeah.
And is the analysis there because it's a sexual act rather than just a random insult like calling someone a jerk?
It's insulting and the cop got offended.
Wow.
That's the analysis, not because it's implying factually a sexual act.
It's written into the law that if the person subjected to the insult, more or less. I had a video on it last year. Don't remember the exact wording of the law, but more or less, it depends on if the victim feels offended.
Yeah, Afroman would have been in trouble.
Now, this was overturned on appeal, but not because it's legal to call a cop a cocksucker. There was a group of cops there, and they could not determine which one he called. Then it becomes a group of cops.
Wow.
Were they all sucking each other's cock?
Probably.
Was there truth to it?
Your Honor, no, is singular.
If you can't, no, it was overturned because they could not identify which one, and all of a sudden, then it's against the organization, and you can't defame an organization.
Wow.
But if that had been a one-on-one encounter with body cam and the kid just, you cocksucker.
Yeah, and he was the only cop. Yeah.
So for frick's sake, protect your First Amendment.
Indeed.
Yep.
Indeed.
Because what happens in Sweden right now is because we don't have a First Amendment.
I mean, the whole Constitution's pretty good. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of it. It's like we have to really fight to make sure it always applies. You know, that's what I try to do. Like, you know, with the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th, that's where I live. Never
the 3rd.
Pertinent. I love it. So it's pertinent. Great name there. Can he appeal? Yeah, the plaintiffs can appeal, but why would they? So like the way that plaintiffs work usually works in the civil, and I'm sure Jim will agree with me that most of the time you're going to take a case as a plaintiff's attorney on a basis where you're not going to get paid unless you win. So I don't know if that was the case here. Like, this is the kind of case where if I was plaintiff's counsel and those folks walked into my office, I would have required money up front to handle it. You know, so because appeals cost, you know, they've already lost. There's probably not anything that's an issue that's worth appealing in that thing. And frankly, I thought if Afroman lost, he did have some appealable issues.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, taking anything on a contingent basis, like a case like that, like, I don't know, like, you know, are they going to want to sink 15, 20, 25 grand into an appeal on a loser? You know, lick your wounds, call it a day. go back home and listen to the Afroman songs that he did about you.
Yeah, and I can't believe one of the funniest thing. Well, depends on what you determine as funny. But when the plaintiffs called Afroman to the stand, and this guy whose brother is a convicted naughty with kids person, they got it went from a local rumor that this guy was screwing around with minors, and now it's a worldwide rumor. And the plaintiffs did this themselves.
Yeah.
And I honestly say they hired this guy to represent them, and he made it so much worse.
Yes.
He was pretty bad.
He did play the videos.
It was awful.
He got caught in 4K. Put it right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, when he basically said that God had picked that jury, I was like, wow.
And then look, they go in favor of Afroman. Look at that magic.
Yeah.
It's like God chose the jury in this civil trial in Adams County, Ohio.
I mean, like it was.
He works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, God had like not much to do on that day, so he's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna check this trial out. This guy seems nice. I'm gonna pick a jury for him. Yeah, no, I thought. What did you guys think of the closing for defense counsel? What's his name? I didn't catch it.
David Osborne.
It was. I mean, like the swearing was kind of unbelievable. I loved it. We got foul mouth. I thought it was fabulous, but I was like, and then when I saw the jury, I'm like, I was thinking, like, how did the F-bomb and the the opinion are like a-holes thing? How did that carry with the two older gals in the front row in the because I just know how some of my chat is. Like some of my chat is like, I'll get the occasional comment like, I was watching your show and I thought it was interesting, but you guys swear so much I just can't take it. So later.
I get a few of those.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
before anyone answers, let's roll out the red carpet. I love you guys on the panel so much, but I am especially excited to bring on the Honorable Andrea Burkhart.
Hey!
Thank you for joining on a whim.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of out and about, so hopefully the noise isn't
doing?
terrible.
We're
taking
you?
my grandma out for a little early dinner tonight, so we're at our lovely restaurant down here at the river. But it's a nice, nice little marina.
Do you have
and
nice
stuff.
weather, Andrea? Like, is it warm?
It's spring here. We got my apricots are all blooming. It's probably like 65 degrees right now.
That's beautiful. It just snowed in Chicago 2 days ago, so I'm jealous. Yeah.
Are you gonna ask if they have lemon cake at the restaurant?
Yes, they definitely have lemon cake, lemon drops, you name it. Everyone can get a slice.
Yeah.
My chat just declared March 18th as Lemon Pound Cake Day.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah. I love it.
You just know there's a bakery out there that's getting tons of orders for lemon pound cake with no context.
You know it.
They're just confused.
Time.
Yeah, I will say.
Absolutely had to come celebrate. I mean, what a day for America. I've really felt like I was an extremist out here because I hated this case so freaking much. I'm like, I can't believe this is even in court. I don't know why the judge let this go forward. Then I get a little bit of a feel for the judge. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get that part. But I'm still like, I'm concerned that maybe I'm some kind of extremist out here thinking, I have zero sympathy for these cops. They're such complete freaking crybabies about all this stuff. They're coming into the court with their filthy, unclean hands and trying to play all offended about the fact that the guy they victimized has a problem with it. And so I just was a little concerned that maybe I lack perspective on this one, and I'm going to be out of touch with the Helen Lovejoys on the jury, who are just going to, clutch the pearls and won't somebody think of the children. So for me, this was a great day. This was a great day for not being completely off base, for people being able to criticize and make jokes that not everybody thinks is funny, but a lot of people do. And,
I do.
Celebrating the Streisand effect yet again, because you can't really pick a dimension of losing that these cops have not lost on by just having the thinnest skin on the planet and not
Yeah.
being able to take a freaking joke.
Yeah.
And you put them in charge of your public safety with the thin skin.
Oh
That's
my lord, and their
terrifying.
collective 80 IQ.
Yeah. Andrea Alley said the exact same. Like she was like she couldn't believe that it survived the motions to dismiss. Like the whole thing should have been told. Like it never should have made it. But
And did you hear the judge's comment about the dismissal of the first 2 count?
Oh
He was almost offended that the first 2 counts were dismissed.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And
I know. I mean, to me, this whole thing has always just been about the context. You can't sever it from the context in any kind of speech case, and that's what they always try to do. But you can't get out of the fact this is a freaking diss song. This is a diss track by a rap artist. Like,
literally,
what is the matter with you? Of course, this is over the top and ridiculous, and it's just a series of them drawing the cartoon of these different officers and this department and their policies and everything, in this most extreme and exaggerated way possible to help tell his story. So taking it out of that context to me is just
yeah, you know what?
That's a huge problem.
Those 3 deputies can go and do their own diss track back at Afroman. Good luck. Like I can't wait for that. I want to hear it.
Well, the one Brian Newland is apparently a failed rapper. Like some of the insults in the social posts against Brian Newland were that he's a wannabe Eminem and couldn't get his rap career off. So I think he actually tried music.
Perfect.
Wow.
I'm here for it. I want to like. I mean, that's the whole point of diss tracks. There's the back and the forth. That's what makes them amazing. I love them.
Isn't MGK from Ohio? Does that make MGK the second worst rapper from Ohio? I'm sorry. Like 4 people care about that joke. Okay.
4.
Yeah. That was actually Bob's question about what you guys think about the swearing and whether that could put off. I mean, I think it could go either way. I think we've seen that in previous cases, but clearly it didn't hurt.
Obviously, I was just like the F-bomb, like really, like we rewound it. I'm like, did he just say F yeah? And like Allie's like, I think so. We went back.
There was a volume differential too. Like he got loud on purpose with it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was starting to wonder if he was doing that intentionally. I'm assuming that was intentional in order to kind of like diffuse some of the language that they were kind of dealing with in the songs. You know what I mean? Just kind of like acclimate them a little bit. See, like I swear as well. I use the F-bomb. I don't know. I thought it was interesting though. I mean, Allie got suspended in federal court because she said effing BS. Like under her breath, they got caught on a microphone in relation to a judge's ruling walking back. Like, and it was a BS ruling, and she won that federal case, which if you know anything about federal courts, the AUSAs are like 98% conviction rate. So, and that was the second one she had won in a row. So
go Allie.
Yeah, that judge was hating
BS. Say it louder next time.
Indeed.
See, I think if anything, like it's maybe that the extreme language kind of helped the defense position because it makes the whole thing so exaggerated. Like, look how ridiculous and extreme this is. How can you possibly be taking any of this seriously as fact claims? This is clearly just invective. Like, what is the matter with you?
Yeah, it was crazy. I just was surprised that, like, I guess the judge wasn't paying any attention, or he just didn't care.
He didn't read anything. He read nothing. He knew nothing about the case. It was crazy.
He was winging it, you know? So, judges are going to wing it sometimes. They're going to wing it sometimes. So.
Yeah. And you guys who practice in the United States, have you, because I've been watching a bunch of trials for the past 3.5 years now. I've never heard a judge commenting on his analysis of the Rule 50, the directed verdict, to the jury.
all of this
I've never
stuff
heard-
in front of the jury that he was doing so inappropriate, all of this
Totally
commenting
improper.
on the evidence and like instructing them on his opinion about the case and his perspective on it, such
Totally
a huge
improper.
problem. This
Yes.
guy is a problem as a judge. If I'm in that county, I'm not going in front of this judge. I don't care what it takes.
My chat said that he was retired. The original judge had a conflicting schedule, so they brought him in just for the trial.
Wow.
And
He walked into that one.
Not there.
Wow. That's something else.
So let's hope that he keeps being retired now and never come back to the bench, because that.
I mean, and
apparently he did a while back in one of the big murder cases in Ohio. He took away the death penalty, and the appeals court said, "Nah, you're wrong." DP is back on the table because that was apparently some extremely ridiculous ruling.
Well,
But
on that one, I'm with them.
Yeah.
I'm no fan of the death penalty, so on that
Same.
one, I'd been like, "Hey, go, guy."
Man,
Hey guys,
I
I
just
hate
remember-
to like run in and just like rant and then dip. But I got to get back to the family
we
here.
love
They're, like,
you.
starting to
No,
bring
that's
stuff to the
okay.
table and whatever. But I couldn't not come celebrate. So thank you so much for the invite. Thank you, Kat, for putting all the pieces together and getting this out there so that we could all enjoy this
Yes.
with you. Really,
Yes.
really grateful for you being the kind of archivist and the public access person and all of that.
100%.
So thank you so much. We owe you a big one for this. And
Thank you.
yeah,
Say hi to your
I'll be
mom
back
for us.
and see
Yeah.
you guys soon.
See
Have
ya.
fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the cursing thing. When Bob was talking about it, I was reminded of a certain motion. This is one of my favorites. Cat will recognize this on behalf of a defendant named Demise McMullen, and his defense.
Oh, the
attorney said,
Nikki.
Yes, this is a written motion. Lyrics contain all sorts of innuendo, language, and elements of artistic expression. They are not literal. Nicki Minaj did not literally shit on anyone in her song, did it on him. Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday, November 2010. Like of all the
Legendary.
lyrics you could choose.
Yeah, and if we go by lyrics, have anybody here ever read a black metal lyric? Yeah, you can't take that on face value for the truth of the matter asserted, because you have songs like "Kill the Christians." You have songs like "Burn Every." I mean, you have literal. Yeah, let's just say it's very, very interesting lyrics, and
Well, I mean, it really does, delve into that whole thing, which like Steele fought so hard. Like this concept that they're using artists' lyrics as evidence in murder trials, is insane. It's absolutely insane.
Mel's been covering that extensively for the past couple months in a forthcoming case.
Yeah. What case?
Lil Durk.
Lil Durk from Chicago. You say you're in Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Doug Weinstein warned the prosecution for bringing in lyrics because he was going to fight all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court about it in his case a few months ago. And that's a problem. And now there is a bill in the Congress or Senate called the RAP Act. That needs more support because it's ridiculous that songs that vaguely describes things that happened around you is evidence in a murder trial.
Well, it's kind of weird because doesn't California have a state version of, I think it's like artist protection, but it specifies like lyrics, and it was recently passed specific to, it was California state. And so I thought that was interesting, unless maybe it's still, I swear I read about it when I was reading the amici briefs for the lyrics at Killer Mike, Young Thug. I swear they mentioned something about California having an act that would be a good example of something to model off of.
Oh.
But maybe they were...
Well, Durk's in federal, so maybe it's different. I've looked at it. I know.
Oh.
But yeah, the
Brain.
feds. It's actually fun. Mel can speak to this better, but they got caught using... Actually, Mel, do you know the music video, the fan edit music video that they were trying to introduce?
Oh, the initial one, yeah. There was the news clipping when the victim was killed. The victim's cousin, who was the alleged and intended target, is saying no on the news clipping. And so a fan edited that audio onto Durk's song. And so they were trying to say that is evidence, obviously, that he did this. And like, that was like a celebratory record and all of that kind of stuff. But Durk's team was like, fan did this. He did not create this. It's not how that went. If that's
no, where is that? Where is that in the process? Is it how far out from trial?
August.
Wow. See, that's why Illinois stinks. Like, we just don't stream here. Like, they just don't. They don't stream.
Well, this one is federal, so it won't be streamed anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's a federal
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was supposed to start in April, but they just the judge he was trying to decide if folks were going to be severed, but he just made the ruling that everybody's getting tried together, and so they moved it because of some conflicts to August.
Yeah, there's one crazy thing is, so there was the initial indictment in the case of the OTF, all those guys, and he wasn't indicted on the initial indictment. The second indictment, the first superseding indictment, the only additional facts alleged against Durk are those fan edit lyrics. Then, what's his face? The lawyer, Drew Feinling, files a motion to dismiss and says, these aren't even hit. This is a fan's music video. You guys are lying about this. And the song was made before the murder even took place. So it's clearly irrelevant. They filed another indictment striking all that stuff, but they didn't add anything. They're basically back to square one where they don't have any additional allegations against Lil Durk. It's like they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, but they're too embarrassed to drop him from the case now that he's in it.
I think he was initially, now I could be wrong, but I'm trying to remember. I think he was initially listed as co-conspirator number 1.
Yep.
And then they replaced it. You know?
Yeah.
But,
it'd be an interesting one when it finally hits.
Yeah.
I would love to never hear the phrase unindicted co-conspirator again after the YSL trial.
Everybody in Georgia is an unindicted co-conspirator, according to Prosecutor Love.
Yeah, I mean that whole Georgia court system, man. Like, I don't know what's going on down there.
I don't either.
I mean,
nobody does.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was listening in on Judge McBurney. He's currently having where people trying to get things severed because the 5 different dates, people who they can barely know each other, but they are clumped together because they allege they are a part of the same gang. And I haven't followed it through properly as I should have, but it seems like McBurney is saying, well, Mr. Prosecutor, because it's Abate who is the prosecutor. Yeah, of course it is.
No comment.
And they're all really, for one guy is count 1 to 5, 2 are count 6 to 15, another 2 is count 17 to this number, and it's like these are unrelated events, but they still clump it together in order to gangs bad.
Yeah, I will say I do think that some of this stuff is starting to backfire because it seems like this lyric stuff. I think there's just been, I don't want to say in every case, but I think in some cases there's been a bit of a change in jury perception as to once you start bringing in lyrics. I mean, to me, just as a defense lawyer, when I see lyrics, I'm like, oh, they don't have anything. They don't have enough. And I'm kind of thinking that juries are starting to get skeptical of lyric evidence.
Yeah.
Maybe not in every case, but and also like the gang stuff, specifically in Fulton County. I think that juries are starting to get skeptical because they just promise too much. They promise, oh, these guys are a wolf pack, and then it's maybe there are some wolves, but they're living in they're not even from the same state. They're not a wolf pack.
And it would be stupid for us to take arguments and opening statements literally, but at the same time, we're going to use lyrics and tell you that you need to interpret them as if they're written literally, because we're telling you that these people on trial did something bad. It's just nonsensical. I would say, just like in this trial, like the judge is like, make sure if you're writing down anything the attorneys say or do, you write a note to yourself that it's just argument. It's not fact.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. I've never seen a judge get that specific on how to take notes. Maybe Bob has, I don't know, but usually it's you take notes in a way that works for you. I mean, it's not a here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Right.
With and then the thing, general, like, oh, you can't take them with you, and remember that what you see is more, or you rely more on your memory than your notes. If you have a memory of something, you can refresh by looking at your notes, but they give like some vague thing, and I hear the same language of it every time I hear a judge mention it. And it'd only be like, at the end of the day, don't take your notes with you. And then in jury instructions, whether or not you can, because some areas you can't take your notes with you into deliberations, right? Which kind of seems pointless to me.
I think that's a judge's discretion. I've definitely seen judges allow people to bring their notes back.
That's usually what I see, but I feel like I've heard like sometimes it doesn't. I don't think it's always, which always felt weird to me, because why would you take notes then if you can't?
Exactly. I don't think Gull let the jurors bring their notes back. If I remember.
Maybe that's the case I'm thinking of.
Yeah. It was, like, what is the point? Though? Like, if you can't refer to your notes in deliberations, why take them?
Yeah.
I mean,
Mo said when she was a juror and they made her jury foreperson, and at the end of, well, okay, now you're going to deliberate, we're going to need your notes, and she's just, oh no, because all she did was writing snark about the prosecutor. No, please shred this. Don't say it. Don't read it.
I could listen to Nick say the word juror all day.
Juror.
You usually, like, in your neck of the woods, is it like Juror? Like, is that how you guys pronounce J's typically?
I love that pronunciation. I love the way Nick says Juror.
We pronounce our Y's and J's differently. So it's a really hard word. It's fun fact. Nobody told me for a year and a half that my pronunciation of the word chat was chat.
It's like,
and nobody told me. In my own chatters, my own viewers. Nobody told me.
That's great. That's great.
It's funny.
It is funny.
I'm going to sue you. I feel offended. No.
Hey, what happened to the pound cake? Like, I really missed it.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah. I don't think I actually took it down. I must have clicked
Jim
something.
Ate it, obviously. Yeah.
Like, well, this one has a bite missing out of it.
There it
is. I would never eat that little of a pound cake. That couldn't possibly.
I have 3 of these because I was trying to move it with lemon pound cake's head on the stand.
Isn't that a bunt cake? I think
it is. Okay. So I always thought pound cake got its name because of the way you make the ingredients. Like the way you measure it. And a bunt cake, I think, it would be too many ingredients for it. But in the video, to me, it looks like a bundt cake is sitting on his kitchen counter. But I think it's...
Yeah.
He perjured himself. Unacceptable.
And pound cake man, he got sent cake to him.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Hundreds of pound cake.
Right.
Oh, you know what witness? I don't think we've talked about the ex-wife witness from today.
Gloria.
I think she was. I would be convinced by that because she's basically just scoffing at them.
Yes.
Along with many of us, I think.
Yeah.
I would.
And
I would have.
They got in that she got a restraining order against her ex-husband. Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Now, getting a restraining order in Ohio is very, very easy, but in the context of this trial,
Oh. Yeah, if you're going to be asking for $1 million or 3.9 or whatever it was in the aggregate.
Total.
Yeah,
as Andrea said, you have some pretty dirty hands. Nobody wants to put millions of dollars in dirty hands.
Yeah.
dirty,
I mean,
filthy hands.
yeah. And
What do you think of? I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, what do you think of the call by the plaintiff's attorney in closing to say return a verdict of money?
It sounds like. Did you guys ever watch BoJack Horseman?
Oh yeah.
Where there's
Vaguely.
there's a character named Vincent Adultman, and he's just he's just two children standing on top of each other in a trench coat.
Is the attorney?
Yeah,
And return a verdict of money sounds like something Vincent Adultman would say.
totally. Totally. Good call.
Like, I did a business at the factory today. Maybe it's correct in Ohio. I don't know. That just sounds funny to me, though.
Oh,
Will
Hilarious.
Arnett does the voice, right? For BoJack. Yeah.
Mm.
That's funny.
now their attorney was really gunning at Lisa. Was going to be, yeah, we are all resting on they having sympathy for Lisa, because let's see here. You have a guy that is literally being called a PDF over and over and over again. And in opening statement, he talks about that. And then he says, and he saved the worst for Lisa. And there's, how is her being called a lesbian worse than being called a PDF?
Yeah.
500,000 more worse. 50% more worse than being called a PDF is being called a lesbian.
Yeah.
So they were, and how many? Just a guess here. How many attorneys did they have to shop for before they ended up with this guy? Who, by the way, I checked his website. He's a labor and employment lawyer. He's doing my area of law. What the fuck is he doing in a First Amendment case?
Well, he had to do a lot of labor to get this one to the finish line. I'll say that.
I'm getting slightly offended. I practice the same area of law. I would never take a First Amendment case or freedom of speech case. It really is not my area.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think all in all, I didn't even think he did that bad of a job with the case that he had.
Well,
I mean, the case he had wasn't the best.
No,
I understand.
NAVCA had asked if we could estimate how much this particular case. Probably not much. I mean, they didn't really put any money into that case. It's not like a case where if you get a civil case where it's malpractice, or if it's like mass torts and you're suing like big pharma or big tobacco, and you need to get a bunch of experts and you're having to dump a huge amount of money into those types of folks, then you can really the outlay. Like for this, I don't know. There's the filing fees, which are $300-400 depending on the jurisdiction. What else would they have spent money on? It's time. You're giving up the time, preparing the case for trial. If you have to do depositions, things of that nature for any kind of civil, but I don't think they dumped a bunch of money into it. Like, I'm curious if that lawyer took it on a contingent basis, because that's on the lawyer. Like, if you're going to do civil litigation, you have to really be pretty, knowledgeable about whether or not you've got a valid claim. And then beyond that, you need to make sure there's a pocket there to dip into. Because, if you get a $3 million judgment against a guy who's got $50 in his pocket, it's not worth the paper it's written on. And I'm sure Afroman has some cash. I don't know that he had, but he would have won on appeal. I have no doubt. Like, if he would have lost, even if he would have lost $1, I think he would have appealed it if they would have turned around and tried to get attorney's fees from him.
Yeah, I would say for my civil days, we had a rule. We did federal. Basically, we'd have cases where we'd need to sue a bunch of different people, and we usually wouldn't sue somebody if the claim was less than $100,000.
Yeah,
just because it would cost us at least $100. It's going to cost like probably $250 just to get best case scenario to summary judgment.
Yeah,
probably more than that. So. But I don't think this is one of those cases. I think it's got to be it's got to be an hourly fee, right? I mean, no one would take this like contingency.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one, we say no one, but like when I look at that's
someone.
You know what? I'm trying to figure out if this guy was worse or the guy who represented the plaintiff in the Cardi B civil case was worse. Both of them were really, really not good.
I think Ron was like super wine baby. Like, I don't know what was going on with that. Take it to trial. Send a link in chat. There is channel 9. Oh, I thought it was 19. It says channel 9 uploaded a walkout video of Afroman leaving the court.
Hey!
So, and take it to
Did you
trial.
see
I
walk
thought you
way
were
up?
with the guitar. Take it to trial. Are you live? Because I thought I saw you streaming, but if you're not streaming, I'll invite you up. Like, let me know. I'll send a link. Let's get this showing. Here we go.
I love the Carnegie trial. I can't get over it.
So good. It was so good.
With the rapper Afroman in the civil lawsuit filed against him by Adams County deputies. WCPO 90's reporter Jay Shakur is live outside the courthouse tonight. This verdict, Jay, was read right about 30 minutes ago, and you spoke to Afroman as he was leaving. What's his reaction?
That's right. Afroman had a very emotional reaction. The jury, as you mentioned, siding with the rapper Afroman, whose real name is Joseph Foreman. In this case, here's video from inside the courtroom as this case went on. During closing arguments, the attorney representing the deputies in this case claimed Afroman intentionally lied about and defamed the deputies in his songs, but Afroman's attorneys maintained throughout this trial it is his right to say what he wants to say. This goes back to 2022 when Afroman's home was raided following search warrants related to possession and trafficking in drugs and kidnapping. Though he was never charged, the attorneys for the deputies suing say Afroman used security video from the raid on his home and put it in a music video using deputies' likeness without permission. Again, this jury in Adams County finding he did not defame those deputies. Here's Afroman speaking directly after that verdict.
All right, here we go.
I can only imagine.
I didn't win. America won. America still has freedom of speech.
Hold on, I'm going to run it back.
After that verdict.
I didn't win. America won. America still has freedom of speech. It's still for the people, by the people.
That's right.
Afroman becoming emotional there as he says this fight was bigger than him. It was about free speech and what he described as corruption in this sheriff's department. I spoke to one supporter who came all the way from Dallas. I have more on that and more reaction from
Dallas.
the rapper tonight at 11. In Adams County, Jay Shakur, WCPO.
All right, so Jay Shakur is going to be interviewing, it sounds like, Afroman on WCPO at 11. That's Eastern time, you guys. So
love it.
I guess it'll be in the local channels, and maybe they'll upload it to their YouTube channel after. But just so you guys know to be on the lookout for that. So huge shout out here to Take It to Trial for sharing this. Take It to Trial is currently streaming a different trial and took the time to be here to make sure that we knew that this was out there so we could see it. So big thank you. Yeah, love Take It to Trial.
I need to go pick up my child. So thanks for having me up. Great to be on with you guys. We'll have to do this again.
Thank you for coming on. Always good to see you.
Are you available Friday around 5 p.m. for my slightly bust Eastern Friday? Well, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Let's just say that because I usually run.
I have to pick up my other child around 2, but after that, I should be free.
Okay, great. Yeah. I will make sure to send links around for my slightly bust, which is very, very appropriate for this case. Celebratory stream for Afroman.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. See you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you. And it's after midnight here, and I have work in the morning. And so I need to buzz off.
Yeah, I'm dipping too. I'm going to drive down to Bloomington, Illinois for a wrongful conviction conference.
Oh.
I'm doing. Yeah, it'll be.
Oh, a conference. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well,
just speaking generally.
Yeah. It's cool because they're inviting like all the kids from Illinois State to like come that are criminal justice majors, and they actually. They had done the oral arguments on both this, the case that I'm Barton and McNeil, and then Jamie Snow. They had all the oral arguments at ISU, which was cool. It was like a really cool thing, you know, because all the appellate court judges were up there, and it was pretty neat. So,
can we watch that? Can we do I was
thinking about trying to stream it somehow. Like I got to see what the signal's like in there because I don't know what room they're doing it in. Like last
they haven't done the oral arguments yet.
They did those already. This is just like Bart continues to lose, even though like the facts of that case are insane. Like this guy, like that case is crazy. Like I firmly believe he's wrongfully convicted, and but he just lost his last post-conviction petition. So short of some newly discovered evidence, it's looking bleak. So
yeah, it's always rough.
Yeah,
I think it's good work that you're doing, though. Excited to hear that it's for a conference and for people to learn.
Yeah, it's important. I think got to keep getting the word out. So I think we had a great day today, though. It was
it was needed. I think it was needed.
Yeah. After the Corrigan's trial, we deserved this trial.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I echo Andrea's sentiments, Kat. Thank you for always doing this. Like, I had no idea that it was even happening, so I was thrilled when I saw you were doing it. So
I love it. I love putting info together, so it's my pleasure, and it's nothing to share it. So
you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Yeah, we owe you.
Yes.
Rubber glue back to you guys.
All right, Jim, Nick, it's a pleasure to hang with you guys. Go Afroman.
Yeah.
See you, chat. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
We all have one-syllable names.
Yeah, and I have to buzz off as well. So the cops lost.
I was gonna say Friday will also be continuing this conversation over, and I'm sure Jim would have an invite as well. Panel show over on Nick Staro's channel. And guys, I'm not good at multitasking. I'm not good at being a host, so I will get links updated in the description for everyone that joined the panel, so you can go check them out. But they're not going to be there until the stream ends, and I get a chance to do that. Jim, I'm going to go through some supers and say thank yous and read some comments. If you're interested in seeing the comments, going through what anyone has to say, you're more than welcome to stay on. But if you'd like to jump, obviously, no offense, I won't sue you or anything.
So I was just reading Max Sharp is now tweeting about the Afroman case.
Oh, what is he saying?
The personal self-improvement checklist. 1, start referring to myself as a sport. 2, begin using the term kicking a can in my own backyard in conversation. I'm a fan. I'm going to jump off too. I was actually just about to go for a run when the jury had to be inconvenient.
Yes, put lemon pound cake on your jogging playlist.
I actually did listen to, Walters as an SOB when I was running yesterday.
Well, there's endless material and probably growing.
Yeah, I get all my good ideas running. I sometimes tweet a lot of my clients from running, usually spell stuff wrong, but that's the way it goes.
Wait, don't go. So, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Is it 6 p.m. or 7 for Justice Serve TV Eastern?
I'm not sure if I'm actually going on, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm available. Doug's definitely going to be on, so watch regardless.
I took Justice Serve TV's tweet to be an invite to you, as if a special guest questioning if you would commit to it. So I think you have an invite. So if you think you're not sure if you're invited, I think you have an invite.
I will text Linda. I'll make sure.
All right. So Justice Serve TV, I think it was 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And I think Mark Betterow was supposed to be one of the guests, Doug Weinstein. Let me confirm the time and then we'll kick Jim off of here. I guess you could kick yourself off. That's fine.
That's true.
I'll get the time. Oh, there's so many posts though over on here.
GSU Grinding is one of my favorite people. I wish he was anonymous because he's a really great lawyer. I can vouch for that. But he's on Twitter asking Afroman to drop a song
immediately, expeditiously. Yeah. All right, so it was actually 6 p.m. I don't know why I thought 7 p.m. I thought maybe it was an hour different because they were making accommodations for a guest. But tomorrow, so Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, Justice Serve TV. There's already 22 people waiting for it. They're going to be talking about Afroman, sex, pound cakes, and the First Amendment with a full panel of guests. So that's Justice Serve TV.
This case blew up fast. I mean, it's only been 3 days, right?
As it should. It should.
No. Okay, but I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon. I'll probably talk to you later.
Alrighty. Always thank you for joining. See you.
Yep, bye,
and let's see. Let's do these supers before I ignore everybody. I'm so sorry. When I have guests on, I feel really rude, but I also don't want to like interrupt. There's always a lot of conversation, especially when it's multiple guests. So I really don't know how to handle like if people are gifting. And it's really not meant to be rude. I appreciate it. We had Pumpkin Belly come in here with the super sticker. So super thank you. That was right when we started the stream. This is probably the good luck charm for that verdict. So thank you so much. We have Johnny Knoxville here with the 5 saying, everyone repost Kat's Afroman Pledge of Allegiance tweet in honor of the First Amendment. Officer Pound Cake, Officer Pound Sand. If you guys missed that, we looked at footage from day 1 and we got to watch voir dire. Real quick clip here. This is what is being referenced. Holy moly, Twitter is blowing up right now. There's so much chatter about this case and celebration. Right here, this clip. Oh, I didn't share it. I boomered.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go ahead and be seated. Good morning.
And the beauty of that, of course, if you're not looking at the screen, is Afroman happens to be wearing an American flag suit. So, very cool. Thank you so much, Johnny Knoxville, for your commentary throughout this trial. Dominator here with the super. Thank you so much. KP says, I think it's funny because they literally made him more famous and brought attention to their tomfoolery. 100% win. And yeah, he got several thousand followers on these days of trial. I think when we looked earlier, he'd already gained 7,000 subscribers today, and he'd hit the 1 million subscriber mark on YouTube. And it was like pretty flatlined in comparison for the previous like 7 days. And there you go. That's how it works. If these cops have spite and resentment towards Afroman, they want to get him for his money. They don't want to see him be successful. They want to silence him. Whatever the combination of those things are, and they can all overlap. Who knows? I don't think it worked in any regard. They lost this case. His following is growing. Everyone out here is like, oh my God, heck yeah, Afroman. Like, total loss. And it's due to them bringing this lawsuit more than the raid itself. I know Lemon Pound Cake made its rounds. I had no idea that this was still ongoing. If they never took this to trial, I wouldn't have known that they continued to try to litigate something like this for so long. So, just an incredible backfire. Stepping on a rake, if you will. And KP, thank you. Always good to see you. Dominator also says, and most importantly, these are government officials that busted down a door doing their quote-unquote official duties. This shouldn't even have been put forward. And I think it would be interesting if it had gone up to the appellate level to see any sort of like opining on, obviously I think they'd want to weigh in on, or they'd be asked to consider what is fully covered by parity. Is something outside the lines of what parity should cover? Do we need to revisit prior SCOTUS holdings? And then also with this public official, is some of this commentary, what if some of the commentary, it seems like the jury thinks the commentary goes beyond what they were doing in their official capacity? Because yes, they were suing as individuals, but it all related, in my opinion, and I think the jury here at the trial level agreed, that this all stemmed from actions that these individuals took while doing their duties. So the commentary thus is commentary on a public official, law enforcement, right? But maybe if the verdict had been different, maybe an appeals court would look at it and say, well, the jury might have thought, and we don't really know for sure, that certain parts of these didn't really fall under the public official standard. I don't know. I actually would love to hear from somebody that specializes in this on the hypotheticals of where this could go on appeal had the verdict been different. And I absolutely do not wish the verdict was different. I think we have the exact right verdict. Smart Towel, yeah, a lot of people saying the same thing that Dominator was saying. Suing him for this did way more harm to their reputation than anything he said. And also, like, again, this Lisa Lemon Pound Cake, this Lisa Lickum video, he published that in the last week. Like, if they weren't suing him, they kept saying at trial, and he won't stop. If you punish him, that will make him stop. You can tell him to stop. That was the argument. But would he even have been doing all of this if they weren't pursuing this lawsuit against him? Because a lawsuit would make me feel more compelled to keep speaking out. You know, it's just... it just doesn't seem logical. If your real thing is you don't want people to talk about you... And I don't know, I think they wanted money. I think the plaintiff argued that they wanted money when he just said, return a verdict of money. Like, I've never really heard that language, even though I understand that typically a verdict of liability will be paired, usually, with some type of compensatory damages, usually not a nominal amount. So I get that it's indirectly related, but to just flat out say return a verdict of money was crazy to me. We've got Toes in Water saying cop was dirty eyeing Afroman after verdict. Sorry, I think my brain went to Ashley Merchant after verdict. A bit worried for him. I'm thinking he needs to watch his back. Well, I hope the community has his back. Listening to some of the voir dire questions, especially, I couldn't follow exactly who was removed from the veneer pool. But it seems like I would think the defense attorney struck some jurors that, and I think one might have been stricken for cause, which means like the judge is doing it. One lady was like, you know, I think the defendant has the burden to show that the plaintiff's claims are not true. And what scares me is I do think a lot of people think that way when they're sitting on a jury. It worries me more in criminal contexts. Well, if he didn't do this, or if he's saying somebody else might have done it, then he needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he didn't do it, even though that's not the standard. But it scares me that people hold that mindset and they can get onto juries, you know. Maybe they're not aware that they even hold that expectation that a defendant should somehow have the burden when legally it's not their burden. And I do believe that juror was stricken here. But it was interesting to hear somebody say that out loud during jury questioning. So you just never know. You never know. But I do hope that for the most part, the community has his back. And I know it's a super white, like, I don't really look at this panel and think anybody might even be of a mixed background. And this wasn't who the pool was selected from. I think these two individuals may have been filtered through, and I don't know if they were actually selected or not, but I don't think anybody further from here was picked. But I do think people, regardless of the skin color, there are a lot of people out there that care about the First Amendment, that care about the right to, you know, be able to speak up if they think law enforcement is stepping across the line and invading their privacy, doing things unlawfully, unethically, or just doing things incompetently. So even if someone believed the officer didn't steal any money, it still looks stupidly incompetent. And why shouldn't you be able to criticize that? So I think watching the voir dire process was very, very cool. And I hope the community, by and large, has his back. And I hope if he feels like he doesn't, I hope he feels capable and comfortable of getting out of there. This judge was not... I would never want to be in front of this judge for anything, personally. I just wouldn't. So, thank you, Toes in Water. And interesting, I do have this one little snapshot of the verdict before we switch over to a different convo. I took this screenshot just by clicking it on screen right when the verdict was read. And it wasn't intentional, but I did feel like this was maybe staring, like, with a pissed look. And that's just, I don't know if that's the same guy you're talking about here, but yeah. Thank you so much for the 5. Nina says, I think the pedo and serial rapist statements were defaming and the rest wasn't. And I think that was a risk. I think that was a risk. Although I do think there's enough there where if it comes to a questioning somebody's fitness for work, fitness for duty, and they have family members that did something suspicious, you might find it reasonable that somebody holds that opinion. And that's the way I think I would deliberate on it. And that's not to say that everybody in the deliberations room with me would come to the same conclusion or hold the same conclusion before I said anything. But I do think there was absolutely a way to get there by saying, hey, I could see why he'd question that and have some concerns. And I do think there was some other stuff that he'd heard that we didn't see admitted in court, which is kind of a tricky gray area because obviously it's not for the jury's consideration. So, yeah, would have been one of those things. But I think it's important to know, Nina, the way you were thinking about things, that was a risk. I think that was a real possibility, that one could have came back with some type of liability. So, thank you so much for the 5. Diddy Truck, we love our truckers around here. Gotta keep the shipments moving, get things shipped. Says save time and money on your next truck rental nationwide with Diddy Truck. Compare prices from companies like U-Haul, Penske, and Budget all at once. So very cool if you guys are planning a move and want to see things like availability and prices, and you think like, oh, there's other companies than U-Haul. Yep. Just like what are some of the travel ones? Like Trivago or whatever, like the travel booking where you can get a bunch of different prices and options all at once. Same thing if you need truck rentals. So very cool company. Thank you for supporting this channel. You've been here before supporting your channel. I hope your business is doing well because I think it's a great idea. Sheriff Chuck here gifting out 5 lemon pound cakes. He said the party is not done. The party is not done. We're still giving out the 5 gifted memberships. If you guys turned green, make sure you're saying thank you. It may have come from Sheriff Chuck. This was a little bit ago. But always super generous, always supporting the channel. And super glad to have you here for the verdict, Chuck. Always love when you can tune in for the verdict streams. We've got Tony 2 a bet says, I'm gonna get high, I'm gonna get high, I'm gonna get high. This is the way we're gonna celebrate the verdict. I'm unfortunately one of those people that even like kind of smelling it secondhand makes me feel kind of funny. But I appreciate it, and I like that it's being decriminalized in lots of places. Love to see that. So shout out to everybody out there that's getting their 420 on in celebration of Afroman today. I'm all for it. Thank you for the support. Sheriff Chuck came in here and gifted 10 more. So another thank you, another round of W's in the chat for Sheriff Chuck. We also have party emojis for him because he's gifted so many memberships on this channel that we have a party Chuck Norris emoji in celebration. So use those, especially if you just got a membership and want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Chuck. We've got Big Rice Street in the building. Not the big lemon pound cake, but the Big Rice Street saying about time the bullies got bullied. And to me, that's what this was. This lawsuit started because they wanted him to shut up about this raid on their home. And I don't think police officers should be able to tell somebody to shut up about somebody's commentary on law enforcement. Especially since at trial, we had a few of these witnesses. Plaintiff, they take the stand, they're called in their own case in chief, and on direct and redirect, some of them are saying, you know, some of these comments were at the department, they were at all of us. This one wasn't at me individually. So clearly, it's a commentary on the action you guys were taking, and it's a critique of what you're doing within your job role. There should be no confusion there that the commentary is not about your personal life. So I think that's exactly right. And I think this set the correct precedent because what if they were successful here and we started seeing lawsuits pop up, again, filed by individuals, not like a law enforcement agency suing somebody, but individuals suing somebody who commented on their search warrant, how they arrested, how they conducted themselves during XYZ. And I'm sure it still happens. I'm sure there's probably still other cases out there, but I would hope that they just get shut down before they make it to trial. So I'm right with you there. Thank you for the 10. Excited Utterance, friend of the channel. I'd sent the link, but it's probably late. Excited Utterance is over in Australia. Would love to have you on. I got to start doing more panel commentaries when these trial ends. Excited Utterance is one of my favorite people on YouTube, not just because she has a really cool accent, but she likes to look at like the media reaction, the sentiment surrounding cases and stories. And sure, you could watch a trial in a bubble, but it's always interesting to see when a case first picks up, like, oh, this major thing just happened, someone gets arrested, and then it proceeds all the way through to a trial. To be able to see the way things are reported, to be able to see if things change, to be able to see if something was wrong and how it's corrected, if it's corrected, and if anybody changes their mind in reaction to the new information. I think it's one of the most interesting ways to cover crime, trials, and news. So Excited Utterance, major love for Excited Utterance's channel. I'm actually going to stop to drop her channel right away in the chat, even though I've got to get the whole panel in the description. Please take a moment to go and hit that subscribe button if you don't already follow her. You might hear me call her Hella sometimes, but I mean Excited Utterance. So there we go. I'll put Hella for the name in the chat there. Thank you so much for kindly gifting those 10 memberships. We have Seth here. Seth Strong Uncut says, so did taxpayers pay for the deputy's attorney in this case, or are they responsible for their own costs? So this is in, the private capacity. And if this was a contingency case, they might not have paid anything, or maybe not much at all, to retain this attorney, depending on what the agreement was. I don't have any insight on what that agreement was, but this really should not have been taxpayers paying for this. If Afroman had lost, then it could be Afroman on the hook for paying the attorney's fees. But yeah, so here it shouldn't be, at least in no way direct, unless something crazy is going on, but who knows. There shouldn't be a pathway here that taxpayers were paying for this attorney here for the plaintiffs. But if Afroman again had lost, he'd be on the hook for paying that. So, and again, I'm very glad with the outcome for multiple reasons. Take it to trial. There we go. I dropped her channel link earlier. She will also be in the description when I have a chance to add it. Post-verdict epic play. Okay. Was this the walkout? I didn't see the super chat. I saw it as a regular chat. Or did I miss a new... Anyway, you're the GOAT for telling us that there was a walkout clip. So shout out to you for that. Thank you for the super chat. But I think that's what you were referring to about 30 minutes ago. So thank you. Take it to trial. Is always on it. And then we have Mavka here with the 2 saying thank you for recommending Hustler magazine. I ordered a sub. So earlier we looked at, I call it the Larry Flynt case. But it's Hustler magazine. It went all the way up to SCOTUS. I think we just read the context earlier. I only knew basically it was a parody case that went up to SCOTUS that really protected parody rights. And that was really all I knew until our previous stream. We read through the Wikipedia entry on it and kind of made me want to read the full opinion. So maybe one of these days, we do a lot of reading opinions from appellate cases, not necessarily SCOTUS, but even just state Supreme Courts or Court of Appeals. I always think it's really interesting to read the analysis, see what exactly they hone in on, what they ultimately decide, and what impact that would have moving forward. So Hustler magazine, let me drop a link to that Wikipedia real quick if you want to get the quick summary of that case. And who knows, maybe in the future we will read the full opinion. Let's see. Hustler magazine v. Falwell. And then Wikipedia. And thank you for the 2 there, Mavka. Good on you for supporting Hustler Magazine and all their work here, protecting the First Amendment out here. Love it. Yeah, Adventure Aaron says, I love that opinion. Yeah, so there's summaries of the opinion in the Wikipedia article, just chunks, not the whole thing. And it was good to read, so it made me want to read the whole thing. Let's see. Yeah, Coretta says he has the right to say his opinion about these public officials, even if it's abhorrent. And I think there is some line drawing between offensive and obscene. But the standard is so much higher when statements are said against a public official. So, let's see. So Afroman doesn't technically win anything in damages, but he can file to like tax the cost that he's had to pay his attorneys. And the judge would make a decision on that. And there might also be in Ohio, there might be, and maybe not, but I do think some states have statutory caps on what you can recover costs for when you prevail in a lawsuit. I don't think it's just like unlimited. And how that process works is his attorney will have to put together like, you know, here's a basis for why we're saying the work we put into defending this case costs this much in hours and resources. This would be the dollar amount on it, and ask the court for it. So, and I'll take a look at that. I mean, that's the type of thing that should stay within the docket. So if I see anything new on the docket after this, I'll of course share it. And if there's like a motion, I feel like a motion just on recovering costs from David Osborne, it might contain some spice. You know, so it might be, sure, he's just going to be tallying up the numbers of how much it costs to litigate this case. But there might be some spice in it. So maybe that'd be worth getting on a stream and reading with you guys if you want that for a stream rather than just sharing a quick link. So that'd be fun. Corey Walker says, I'm back, made dinner. Did Afro win? He won. Complete no liability. Everything was in his favor. Nothing for the plaintiffs. So to that we say a little feature here from Joe Takapina. Oh, there we go. We've got, thank you Too Tall for the kind words. Let's see. Next, you guys, next for me, there is, you know, this is a small update in the Courtney Clenny case. I might do a stream on that tomorrow. When that trial goes live at end of April, I will be covering that. We'll be watching that live every day. For the week leading up to it, I have like 60 videos deep diving or watching hearings in that case. But I want to run it all back because it's like 2-3 years. Like my memory of some of the details is starting to fade. So probably do a run through everything from the beginning, and I've requested all available exhibits. I'm still trying to request some exhibits that judge has to make a decision on whether or not they're going to be under seal or if the public can access them. So we've got treasure trove of stuff for the Courtney Clenny, the OnlyFans murder trial, Miami OnlyFans model that says she flung a knife and didn't mean to kill her boyfriend Christian Obumseli. It was only one stab wound. She's charged with second-degree murder. And it's a whole time. It's going to be an interesting trial. The state attorney he had to step down from the case after a judge found that he violated attorney-client privilege by looking through emails from the parents' iCloud accounts, group chats, without employing a proper filter from a taint team. So there's just been so much mess in that case. But we're going to start running through that for the week leading up to trial. I don't know about anything specific in between that, but I love to cover appeals, oral arguments, anything spicy in the news, like a what in the type story. So if you guys are new here, and I hope you stick around, but if you guys are new here, I like to look at cases where prosecutorial misconduct, police misconduct, might have led to an unjust outcome. And I do think that if we bring attention to it, it might push that story towards the correct outcome. So very, very excited every time I find a good story, hop live randomly and unexpectedly. So I hope you stick around. Kelsey Fitzsimmons, I am not personally covering that because I think there are so many others that are doing it in detail. I do not think I would do that case justice because so many others have done such a great job. But I do think that is worth recommending. One to look out over in Massachusetts. So put that on your radar. That's going to be next week because it was moved from this week, right? It was moved from this week. But yeah, for Always Server Places, I can't wait for Courtney Clenny case to get a move on. Yeah, let me not jinx it because they moved the trial like a million times already. Let me not jinx it, but it's supposed to start April 27th. So we'll see. And I'm sure the courts, they're going to have cameras in for this trial. It's been hit or miss with some of the hearings, but I would imagine Law and Crime's going to want to be in there for that one. But if they're not, I'm only 3 hours away. I will go in person. I will make sure I'm there and we will not miss it. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up. It has been like a 12-hour day over here. I'm super appreciative for you guys. For so many of you have been here for like 12 hours today. Major thanks. Justice Served TV. Love you guys. 6 p.m. tomorrow. Make sure you check out their Afroman First Amendment panel stream. I'm so looking forward to it. And you guys all have a great night. Oh, wait, Ian Runkle tonight. Is he live right now? I'll redirect you guys to Ian Runkle. He's talking about Afroman and First Amendment right now. Maybe 8:30. I forget. But I'll redirect. That way the party won't stop. We'll continue the party in the chat over there. And let me see. Customization. Redirect. Let's see. Runkle. All right, he hasn't started quite yet, so I've got time to get snacks. You guys have time to get snacks. Hope to see you guys there. I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for a great day. You guys take care and see you over at Runkle's.